everyone, this is Spaghettikid playing Prison Architect. This is going to be episode 4, and we've successfully sorted out, I'm just going to pause it, we sorted out the silly wall that was over here. Required a bit of fiddling around with the save file, but I should be able to go to materials and put down a fence. Oh no, sorry, I've already done that. So I'll just go and put down some grass so it looks okay. Oh, that's all done as well. Okay, so I'm going to quickly finish off this yard. So I'll put down some weight benches. And that should be okay for the moment. I'm also going to go and get a phone booth. And I'm also quickly going to build something else. I'm going to put the foundations down for this. And I think this is probably going to end up being a workshop. However, I'm going to use it temporarily. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to build the foundations. No, sorry. I'm not going to build the foundations. I'm going to go to rooms. I'm going to go to common room. I'm going to use this as a common room for the moment. And I'm going to objects, TV, and then some pool tables. Now hopefully that should just mean people have got a bit of stuff to do, because a lot of them seem to be wanting recreation. You can see that, and also if you go to needs, their recreation is quite high. So I'm just going to put some more free time in as well. Free time's vital, so they can have toilets, breaks and other things like that. But hopefully we'll temporarily have this little common room. Meanwhile, we can try and plan out a proper common room somewhere. So I'm thinking somewhere back here, maybe. So I think I'll go to planning and put some areas down over here. Okay, so something I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to, on my phone, I'm just going to go to the Prison Architect wiki. And I'm going to look at what sizes things need to be. So the optimal size for a workshop is 240 meters squared. So if you divide 240, so the square root of 240, is probably about 16 by 16. So you've just got to kind of find out the right kind of size. So because if you get a workshop that's 240 meters squared, it means you can get the maximum of 20 prisoners there. So each 12 meters squared gives you another prisoner. So what I'm going to do is make a 14. So 14 should mean it's 12 blocks internally. So that area internally will be 12, and then I'm going to make that 20 blocks long. But actually I'm going to do it downwards, so I'm going to go 20, but I need to make it 22 because of the walls. So 14 by 20 should mean it's 20 by 12 internally. So that is going to be a workshop. We can then remove that. Build another one, just so it's symmetrical, but we're going to probably have this as something separate. So I'll just check how needs are going. So sleep and food seem to be quite important at the moment. However, we are about to go to free time. We have got a lot of yard time, which we probably don't need. So I'm just going to change that to free time, because we don't want them just having too much yard time, because they've got enough exercise. And hopefully they'll they'll be having things they need more importantly than exercise. Okay. So things seem to be going okay at the moment. We have got a little bit of danger, but which is because of this big need for sleep and food. The reason that's there is because of new prisoners that haven't. They usually arrive with a full demand of a full need of sleep. So hygiene is actually already really low. So I don't know whether I needed that shower slot there. So I may put the shower slot here, and then have these two as eat, which should make it a little bit better. There is some food there, so they should be able to eat, and hopefully we'll get things going. It ends up that... oh, we've got more prisoners arriving. We don't want more prisoners arriving. Prisoners, close. Usually when you have new prisoners, you get a higher risk level than normal. So if you've had prisoners for an awfully long time, you should be okay. I am going to quickly put down 2 beds, just as a little like emergency kind of solution, because we've got 2 prisoners that don't have anywhere to go. Meanwhile, I'm going to put down a couple of things. So I'm going to build some foundations here, and also these foundations. These foundations. Now that's a lot of foundations. I'm actually going to... no, shall I remove these? No, I think... strange. It seemed to take more money out, even though I've already got the goods to build it. Odd. Oh well. We'll be gaining more money than that in the future. So at the moment we've got £2,000 coming in, and well, no, £6,200 coming in, and only 3,300 going out. So we are gaining money every day, a couple of thousand a day. So when you get to this stage, generally you stop having I've just realised what this is. When you've used up all your initial starting money, you run out of money to build with. However, I have enabled a grants mod. So we've got a couple of grants here that should give us a big boost of money. So we have Cell Block A, which gives you £20,000 advance payment and 20,000 when you have a prison capacity of 15. So if we enable that, we'll get all of it, because we've currently got 20 cell blocks. So we've just got a giant boost. We've also got a lot more other different boost. A few other grants. So this is in Steam. You can go to extras and mods, and I've got... maybe I haven't got this mod enabled. I have clearer needs icons enabled, so maybe I haven't got the grads mod enabled. Maybe that is just the new grants. Okay, well, maybe this is just the new grants. I'm surprised here. Let me just have a look. Prison Architect grants. I think this might be the grants mod. I'm a little bit confused. It doesn't seem to say I've got the grants mod enabled. However, these are more than usual. But I would recommend trying out the grants mod. It's really quite good for just getting a little bit more money to get going. It seems a little bit unfair that you get a little bit of money to start you off, but it's almost not enough. You have to almost start off with a tiny prison of like 10 prisoners and a really tiny room for everything. So if you want to do any slightly larger prisons, so this is not even a large prison, this is a fairly standard sized prison. It's not a small prison, because with the addition of these extra cell blocks, we're going to have 80 prisoners just in this space, and we've then got all this space spare. So we could have a couple of hundred prisoners in this potentially. Probably won't have that. I usually stick around 60 to 80. But having this grants mod enables you to have a little bit of a boost initially. Because otherwise you'd end up struggling to get anything going. So you'll have to have a couple of cell blocks, which really isn't very nice. These keep blinking, which is a bit confusing. Okay, so I'm going to get a couple of other things built. So, again, I'm referring to the Wikipedia. And I'm looking at the size that you require for, where is it? Cleaning cupboard. The cleaning cupboard is really quite useful. So the optimal size for a cleaning cupboard is 80 meters squared. So 80 is 8 by 10 internally. So I could do 8 by 10, or I probably could do 9 by 9. Which would be 81. So I think I'm going to do 8 by 1. And they don't need to be so central, because it's a cleaning cupboard. I could probably get away with it being up here. So I think I'm going to go to planning, walls. So I've got to add on 2, so it's going to be 11 by 11. And I actually want it... So that's 11 by 11. Is that going to be okay? I think that should be okay. 11 by 11. Yeah, that should be okay. So I'm going to go to materials, paving stone, put some paving stone down just so people can get around a little bit better. Now, hopefully, I think I'm going to make these slightly bigger than they're required, just so it fits a little bit better. Okay, so foundations is being installed. I don't want these foundations. Why are you putting foundations in? Put them up here, not down there. Oh well. We'll sort this out. We can also get some doors put in here. So we'll just get them here. Should be okay for the moment. And once these are finished, we can then sort a door out. So I'll get a door put in this. So this one's okay, but this one's different from how we wanted. We want a... We don't want to bulldoze the foundations here. Oh, quickly pause it. There we go, just so we can sort the lights out a little bit better. Now installing the lights here. We can go to materials and put a brick wall along here. And go to planning and remove this planned area. and hopefully these walls will get put in. So prisoners' needs seem to be okay now. So as I said, as soon as they've had a day or two in the prison, as they've had a full time to as they've followed the regime fully, rather than just popping in the middle and missing out on things like food or sleep, it ends up that actually their kind of needs are much more settled over time. So we've got a big need for food, but we are just about to get to eating, so hopefully we should be okay. But this guy's a little bit confused. Hopefully these will get put in. So the lights have been put... oh, the outside lights, that's why. Okay, so the walls are all in. Okay, so I'm going to go to bureaucracy, and I'm going to put in a couple of things. I'm going to put deployment, patrols, and prison policy. Now we've got a little bit more money, we can do all this without worrying a lot. Tax relief. Oh, this is a new... yeah, I think this is the new thing of how finance works, is that you get taxed, so a proportion of your money gets taken for corporation tax. So we can look at the amount of money in our prison if we go to valuation, and this is an interesting thing which I always keep an eye on. But what you can do, sell shares, that's odd. But if you look at the amount of money, so you get penalties for deaths and escapes and things like that, which you should be able to avoid if you've got a fairly okay prison, without lots of problems. And at the moment, we've got quite a lot of money from actually building things, and we've got the £50,000 starting grant, which is taken by 50. So our actual valuation at the moment is 60,000. However, this will increase quite a lot. And what I always suggest doing is just keeping an eye on this and set yourself a challenge. So £250,000 is not going to be too difficult to achieve. But when I built my previous big prison that I spent quite a bit of time playing, seems a bit confused by this door. I aimed for 1 million, and when I got to 1 million, you can sell your prison. So you can click the big sell button, which you need a minimum value, and you need to have an accountant and at least 20 prisoners, so you haven't just got a prison. And this means what you can do, I'm not going to do it now, clearly, but what you can do is you can sell your prison and then start a bigger prison, or just start a new prison with a lot of money. So once I've been playing with this prison for enough time, I may end up selling my prison and using all the profit from that to build a better prison. So all it's going to mean is that you can start off with, instead of 50,000, you could start off with 1 million, which is going to be amazing, because you're never going to have to think, oh, I need to wait a couple of days to get a bit more money. However, saying that, the grants scheme does give you quite a lot of money. So things like health and well-being, you need a medical ward and 2 doctors and a psychologist. So if I get that, I need at least 2 doctors. So what I might do is build, I think, 2 more smaller blocks over in this area, and because there's a couple of things that I'll need. I think I've built a visitation room. I've also got 3 visitor tables. I've got a common room, sort of, but I haven't properly got a common room. I'll do that when I've got a proper common room, as opposed to this silly little thing in the corner. So I'm going to want a couple of rooms, so before I do that, I'm actually going to start building some of these things. So I'm at least going to put them where they should be, so I'll designate them. So I'm going to want... where is it? Cleaning cupboard. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to put a big cleaning cupboard here. Now it seems silly because a cleaning cupboard, you don't actually have that much to do in a cleaning cupboard. It's because you just don't... I'm just going to put some cabling in here, just so that's plumbed in. I'm also quickly going to put some cables up here. Get rid of that. Okay, so a cleaning cupboard this big will mean I can have prison labour, which I think just unlocked. So I'm going to quickly buy a couple of janitors. So I'm going to buy 2 janitors, and they're going to fly off and start cleaning our prison so it looks nice. What this will also do is the environment will get better. If it's really dirty, imagine if you were in anywhere and it was really dirty, you wouldn't be that happy with how it is. Imagine if you're staying in a hotel and it was really dirty, you'd hate it there and probably get a bit angry. So if you're in prison and it's all dirty, you're obviously going to get a little bit angry. So what this will do is it'll mean the prisoners will be able to enjoy being in prison, if you can enjoy being in prison, and they won't be as angered. So cleaning cupboard means what you can do is with prison labour, if you go to deployment, jobs, you can have up to 20 jobs. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now if I go to regime, I can set some time as work. So I'm not going to have that much. I'm going to have 3 hours of work time right in the middle. Now, because it's sleep time, all my prisoners should be asleep. But for some reason they aren't, which is really odd. I think it's because at the moment they have an awfully long time of sleep. They're sleeping from 10 in the evening till 7 or until 8. So I may change that a little bit. So I'm just going to put some utilities in here. I'm just going to put some cabling. So that should give everything some electricity, hopefully. I may need some more cables, but we should be okay. Okay, so the cleaning cupboard has got this bleach in, but now, because we've now got enough, prisoners to work in here, we could technically have all 20 prisoners working in the cleaning cupboard. And what that's going to mean is that you can have a really clean prison without having to hire loads and loads of janitors. Because before prison labour, you had to hire about 20 janitors just to clean the whole of your prison effectively, which is a little bit silly. Oh, I've just noticed one of our prisoners is due for release soon, which is quite convenient. But I'm first going to do a couple of things. If you go into deployment, you can select different zones, so you can have different cell blocks that are different security levels. You can also have staff only areas, so I'm going to select the kitchen as staff only. I'm also going to put these offices as staff only because I don't want lots of prisoners wandering around in the staff room to clean them. So what this means is that my janitors will be the only ones that will be cleaning the offices and the kitchen, because I don't want to be having lots of prisoners wandering around the kitchen, because they'll love to clean it and acquire lots of knives and other things that may be quite dangerous. So you'll see the janitors will be the only people that will clean the kitchens. What you can do is if you click on the janitor, you can right click them and they will go straight to where you tell them and then start cleaning a little bit there, but they will go somewhere straight away. Okay. I'm also going to show you a little trick, which is to simplify things a little bit. Instead of having lots of guards just wandering all over the place, if you have a guard on deployment here, he's going to walk up and down here and always be by this door. So anyone that requires this door to open, he will just go bam, straight to it. Like that. I've then got some other staff, and they will just be wandering around the whole place. So they're going to be all over the place. So sleep seems to have been satisfied. So now it's hygiene, which is being sorted out. I think I'm going to get rid of a bit of that. I'm going to get rid of a slight amount of sleep. I think I'll change 1 hour of eating. Generally, people can eat in 1 hour. They don't need all the time, all 2 hours to eat, so they should be okay. So cleaning cupboards there. The next thing I want to build the next thing I need to build is a common room. So I'm going to go to room, find a common room, there it is. Here. And do a nice big common room for all of the people. Put some lights in there so it'll be lit up. Something you may notice with my prison is that there is no fog of war. Now I don't really like fog of war in the prison, and although you can disable it in the settings when you first set up the prison, it doesn't ever disable it. So what you have to do is you go into the save file and you can change one of the columns, which should be right at the top of the save file when you open it in a text editor, which will say enable visibility, and this should be set as true. If you set it to false, it will mean that the fog of war will be off. So you shouldn't have to worry about anything. There you go, we're all clean now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So there's 10 prisoners now working in the prison laboury thing. Anyway, I was just saying something and I forgot what I was saying. I don't like forgetting what I was thinking. Anyway, moving on from me being forgetful. I'm just going to change a few things. Something that I've noticed is that garbage doesn't seem to be getting rid of. Hasn't seemed to have been removed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to rooms, because although this truck, that was a garbage truck, and it should be collecting all this garbage. However, because of a weird bug, if your deliveries area, I found this out just in between these episodes when I was recording. If your garbage is above, physically on the map, your deliveries area, your garbage won't be taken away. It will literally just keep accumulating. So you'll notice I've got absolutely tons of garbage and very, very little and very little space left, because it's filled up my garbage area. So now when a garbage truck comes, it should mean that hopefully, there's 4 guards now. So here's our truck park and has now gone away. It's really weird. Okay, let's try this again. Let's go to rooms and garbage, and let's set this as garbage, and this as storage, as delivery, sorry, and hopefully yeah, now they seem to be taking the garbage away. So for some reason that was not working very well. I'm not really sure why. I'm going to temporarily put some storage in here, because things like lights and things need somewhere to be taken somewhere after they've been removed. But that one light doesn't seem to want to connect, does it? Okay, put it a bit higher. I think I was talking about fog of war. Was I talking about fog of war? Before I forgot what I was saying. It's a very useful thing, disabling it, because even when you have got fog of war enabled, eventually you'll just have a network of lots of security cameras, and all that means is you can see everything perfectly fine, but then you've got these security cameras that are just awkward. It just means things go dark and light, and when the security cameras are like waving over everything, and I find that really distracting from the actual game, so I just enable or disable fog of war. So disabling it, the only way, if you go on Google and just search how to disable fog of war in Prison Architect, and there are lots of things that will explain how to do it. You just have to change an entry in the save file in a text editor. But I think we seem to be okay at the moment. All our needs are fairly satisfied. Clothing is one thing I need to sort out, which I may end up having to do at some point. I think actually, once I've converted all these cells, when we've only got enough cells for the when we've only got 20 prisoners and we've got enough cells to hold our prisoners, I'm going to get rid of this holding cell and change that into laundry, I think. I may not, because a holding cell is quite useful. It's just I need laundry, and I don't know where to put it at the moment. Common room. I'm not sure. I may divide this in half potentially, because then we can have a medical wards and maybe some solitary cells. I'll probably end up doing that, to be honest, because we need a medical ward. And we definitely need solitary cells. I think I'll do that. So I'm going to stop the episode here, and I'll hopefully see you in the next episode. And make sure, if you like this and you want to watch more, that you subscribe and like and favourite and do anything you want to. And please leave me any comments and feedback as to anything you'd like different with how this is done, and whether you want longer episodes, shorter episodes, anything like that. Just let me know, and I will more than happily change how I'm doing this, or give you feedback on anything, or help you with anything you need help on. So I'll hopefully see you in the next episode, and hopefully see you then. So goodbye, and thanks for watching.